Let me take off my identifying badge. Because that's not what we're here to talk about.
Your identifying badge, like you're on a hit list or something. There can't be any identifying markers in the room.
There cannot be. Okay, cool. We are good to go.
Hey, everybody, I want to welcome you to this week's live edition of the Get Your Geek On podcast for the week of November 3rd, 2017. As always, we are your hosts, Chuck Keybots.
Robert Dilks.
Anthony Arsenio.
And lots of great stuff to cover since we were off last week. So we're going to jump things off just by starting off and saying, guys, it's a pleasure to be back in the studio.
Hello.
Hello.
So what'd you guys do on your week off? Anything interesting?
Saw The Kingsman Golden Circle, finally.
You hadn't seen it yet?
I had not seen it, so I went to go see that last week.
What'd you think? I thought it was good.
It was
a
good.
serviceable sequel.
It wasn't as funny as the previous one was.
I'll give you that. The action scenes were dope, though.
The action scenes were on par with the course, but I think one of the things that kind of fell through for me was the fact that
Can we follow on the tablet here?
Eggy wasn't as funny as he was previously. And I like the fact that there was continuity. It was like, I'm dating a Swedish princess.
Yeah, that was nice that they looped that in.
The Swedish princess aspect was good, and then the other aspect that what was it? Juliana Moore was really good in that movie as well. But the weirdness on that was Channing Tatum's character was in there like for 2 seconds. It was like,
yeah, really, he was like pretty much anything you saw in the trailer of his character was like the whole movie.
That entire movie, and then
one of my favorite things that we're going to be going into here is the fact that there are so many trailers that dropped over the course of like the past week and a half. So jump in as we do every week with Trailer Talk, where we take a look at all the best trailers that are out there. I just want to say next week we're hopefully going to be able to start making it so that you guys can watch the trailers along with us. But a couple of first we got to talk the Last Jedi trailer that dropped while we were off. Mm-hmm. And there've been a couple dope TV spots as well. Have you guys
totally avoided it?
Okay, so you have
with
avoided
reason,
it. I'm on blackout
and
now
then
because that
boom,
TV spot.
It was on right before Thor.
Dude, that TV spot hit me, and like I'm so angry because it's the one with Ray's got Luke at the end. I'm on So officially, I'm on blackout now, which I don't really do with a movie. Like I
don't want to see that TV spot.
I'm on Jedi blackout, so that's definitely official for me. Hey, what's up, Jamie? I got something just for you. We'll get to it in a little bit, just for you and Lewis. So hopefully you guys enjoy those. But yeah, that Last Jedi trailer, man, goosebumps. Any big thoughts for you on that, Robert? Are you like trying to avoid it? What do you?
I saw the trailer. I've seen some of the TV spots. I don't know if it makes me more hyped or I really just want to see the movie at this point.
We've all got our tickets at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really just want to see the movie at this point in time. Just show up so I can know the rest of the story.
A trailer that dropped yesterday that is a movie that I'm just getting more and more excited to see. The new Disaster Artist trailer dropped. Did you guys catch that?
Yes, I did.
Dude, the movie looks like it's going to be hilarious. Like, and the reviews for it are incredible. You have no interest in it?
No. I saw it because it was like, at first I thought it was funny, and then I saw the extended trailer. I'm like, this doesn't look funny at all.
Oh, I think it's going to be hilarious. I think they're trying to, like, they're parodying themselves in the trailer, so they're making it seem like it's this serious approach to the movie, but it's not. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be hilarious. But the one trailer that we had been hyped up for the past couple weeks that did drop was that second Bright trailer. And wow, does that movie look good. Like, come on, man. For the first Netflix feature film, like, way to drive out there. Like, that looks like it's just out there in a whole different realm of movie that we haven't really seen before. It feels like they kind of just threw a bunch of our favorite genres in a blender and then threw money at it.
So
and this
it was
the
like
result.
it's like they took Alien. I'm not going to say it's a Lethal Weapon reference. I feel it's more like Alien Nation. And Alien Nation, Bad Boys...
Kind of very Bad Boys vibe, and that's not just because it's Will Smith.
They're not just because it's Will Smith. And then all of a sudden, if Lord of the Rings was set in Boys in the Hood, and that's just
if Lord of the Rings, Bad Boys, and Supernatural, that would be like the illegitimate baby.
It's somewhere along the lines like it's orcs.
It just looks good though. Like it looks like a movie I would definitely pay to go see. And the fact that I'm going to be able to sit at home and wait for that's going to be the first midnight screening that I've done in a long time because now they do like the 7 p.m. Thursdays. Yeah. So I'll be up at midnight waiting on December 22nd for that to drop. Like yes, I cannot wait. Have you seen the new trailer?
Yeah,
what do you think? Like
it was awesome.
It looks like this could really be a game changer for how movies are made.
It could be. Like I think one of the things is like they've been you see Netflix has been playing with this for a while. So they had that movie with Brad Pitt, which I'm forgetting about. They've had a couple of ones where they've released, but this is one where you can say they've actually kind of put together an all-star cast.
Basically a high stakes version of Capture the Flag,
Right.
like with this magic wand.
This is like a magic wand. It's like you could.
Well, and then you see like all the different sides that are coming together to try to take this thing. It's like it's because like I've read like the all description of the movie. Apparently, like, magic wands are like once in a 1,000 years one will come about and something like that. So it's like super super rare. But it just looks like it's great. It could totally change the way movies are made. The budget will tell us how Netflix is going to go forward now and then. But my whole thing is like, how are they making the money here? Like I get that you're popping that $13 a month. I just don't see where they're just dropping this tons of money in.
Because they can see their content. Like for me, it's from an industry standpoint, they're seeing their content being pulled away from them. Their initial thing was, "Hey, we're a movie. We're about movies." And then where we saw Disney pull their library away. It's like, well, Disney's like, well, we've been on Netflix for a while. We don't want to pay it. We think we can do it better. And we'll draw that audience, so it becomes more and more splintered, and so they're going to lose money. So Netflix has to find some way to fill that gap. Making your original content where nobody can pull it away from you is great. If you have the shows like Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, putting those things on, which are going to make people keep coming back to you and making your own original content. Good for you.
Now, moving in the world of Netflix over to the world of Hulu, Runaways dropped their extended trailer yesterday, and I got to tell you, damn. And all the reviews out of it said that it is incredibly faithful to the comics, that it's incredibly well made, that the fact that they make a telepathic dinosaur actually playable in the show, but it just looks well made. If you like the comics at all, you cannot tell me it doesn't look page to screen at certain moments in the trailer.
I have no Hulu, so I'm not going to
Oh, dude,
watch it.
you got to use mine. I can't wait. Like I'm binging that show November 21st, man. I will be all about it. Also, another trailer for Downsizing, the Matt Damon comedy dropped. That looks good. That's gonna be my Christmas Day movie.
That looks pretty funny.
So that'll be interesting. The new trailer, where Kristen Wiig doesn't do it. What would you do in that situation? You're about to do it, and you get the phone call that she backed out at the last minute.
I don't know. I've seen enough Twilight Zone to know that it wouldn't end well.
I just think that movie could easily be turned where he becomes a tiny assassin because he just goes to murder her and her entire family. But so moving out of that, we also did get a video game trailer for Spider-Man on the PS4, and I gotta tell you, I am so glad that I upgraded to the PS4 because damn, that game looks good.
Looks pretty awesome.
Miles Morales coming in, everything else like that just looks like it's gonna be absolutely incredible. And then I got a Green Lantern skin for my PlayStation 4. I don't know if you saw the pictures on Facebook. I put it up. I have to show you that it just looks incredible. So I wrapped my PS4. Boom. Yeah, super excited for that. But yeah, other than that, what else? We got the X-Files Season 11 Insight trailer from New York Comic Con. Word has they're going to be going with less mythology on that, which I could really care less. And then we also got a Jumanji featurette trailer, which I was really excited for that. That movie's actually starting to grow on me a little bit more and more the more that I think about it, but I don't know. We also got the I, Tonya trailer with the Tonya Harding story with Margot Robbie and Sebastian Stan. So what would you guys think?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, it's like I just like Margot Robbie as an actress at this point in time. It's not just a Harley Quinn; she just nails certain roles for me really well. And this one, the Tonya Harding one, with her particular perspective, looks really interesting. So.
And alrighty, so moving on here, last night, of course, was the Thor Ragnarok premiere. So mild spoilers at this point. If you haven't seen Thor, tune away. So overall rating, you guys, I gave mine Thor 9 out of 10. What do you guys think?
8 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I think it was absolutely hilarious, way funnier than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, I mean, it was a straight comedy.
Korg is the hero of the movie for me. That character, Taika Waititi, come on.
He wore on me. He really did wear on me at the end.
Really?
He really did. It
Too
was like,
far?
It was like too far. It was like, okay, I get it. I get it.
We're about to take this spaceship and get out of here. You coming?
It's like Meek. Meek is dead. I just carried his body.
I was feeling guilty. Oh, he's alive.
It's alive. So he's like his character just wore on me towards the end of the film.
Gotta say though, seeing Thor as the actual god of thunder and lightning was pretty dope.
Yeah,
that was something that I couldn't get over. That was pretty awesome.
And
he's eyeless now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
He's gonna have an eye patch in the next movie.
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, like, like one of the things I want to come quickly up with is how fast the movie amped up. It amped up fairly quick.
Really quick.
It was like, when he said, like, what are you going to do with that? We talked about the fact this was the shortest Marvel film, and it just amped up super quick.
It really didn't feel that short.
It didn't feel short, but you're like, it's 90 minutes. How are they going to tell this story with all the stuff that they've laid out? Also, probably the best movie for Marvel continuity. They hit it on all angles.
Oh, it was awesome. Just seeing Doctor Strange as the full-on Sorcerer
It's
Supreme.
like it's full-on Sorcerer Supreme, which makes me... Because that was the thing I got there. It was like this. It's like, the moment they land, it's like, oh, it's like Jane Foster. It's like, why is she not in the film? And it's like, oh, yeah, it was a mutual breaking up. I was like, good to see you. And then he's like, okay, we're going to go... Where are we going? I left him right here.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you see the sling ring is like, whoop, and Loki's gone.
That was a pretty funny thing. Yeah,
Just like tumbling through the...
I've been falling for 13 minutes.
Korg had the greatest thing, though. Why are you here? He goes, oh, because I started a revolution, but I didn't print enough pamphlets, so nobody but my mom and her boyfriend, who I hate, showed up. Like, just his whole thing was absolutely hilarious in the movie. Hulk was great. Hearing, like, the intelligent Hulk was absolutely awesome. Jeff Goldblum was Jeff Goldblum. I love the Matt Damon cameo.
Not even that. It was what I found funny about that. It was Matt Damon, Chris Helm, I forget his older, the
older brother,
the older brother,
and
Sam Neill, which is like, I was like, they're really hitting on the Jurassic Park references here.
Yeah, that was absolutely hilarious. And then not too much as far as like connectivity to the MCU, but I didn't really need that. This was like its own little buddy road movie.
Oh,
this
is the one that I felt that had the most continuity. Out of whoever the continuity director on this one really nailed it.
I gotta get it. My favorite moment in the entire movie. It's getting kind of bright outside, big guy, and like they're calling back to that. And I'm like, oh my god! Like I'm tapping my buddy in the theater. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna calm him down. That's how he becomes Banner. And then when he grabs him and slams it, Loki's reaction,
yes,
that's how it feels. Like
it's like
it was just pure joy because that was like the definition of the callback.
The hardest I laughed throughout the movie was when Banner was like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of this," and falls out of the plane.
You do know me.
And then he just crumples into the ground like a wet paper doll.
It's like, you know what that's from?
That was like a dead cat bounce. Like
he was crumpled. Like he broke all his bones. Because he fell like 70 feet.
It's like, oh, you'll find out who I am. And it's just like, it calls back to that moment from the Incredible Hulk.
I'm always angry.
Where he's like, well, no, the one with Edward Norton where he's like, okay, he's like, I gotta get mad. It's like, and he falls out of the plane. He's like, oh shit.
It was great. I mean, it was definitely a great movie. It was better than I was expecting. I mean, it's definitely a fun movie.
It's the best Thor movie.
The IMAX was great. It was the best Thor movie, though. But that's like saying you're the runner-up at the Special Olympics. That's not a high bar to get to. But, I mean, going forward, I would like to see what they do with the Thor character. Spoiler alert, now that he's a little less pretty. I think that was really well done digital marketing because we've seen all the scenes of him jumping on the bridge when he was all like jacked up, and he had two eyes at the time. So the fact that they like didn't, that's like them editing Spider-Man out of the airport scene and all the trailers and stuff like that. It was very well done. But what do you guys think of the eye patch Thor going forward?
A lot of future versions of Thor, he has an eye patch.
And so
it's fun to see.
And that's like, what do you when you need to make him less pretty? I mean, like, Chris Hemsworth had his shirt off about 20% of the film. It's like you just like, it's just like you see it, you're like, okay.
It was good. I mean, definitely was something that I wasn't expecting. All the comedy that I got, so that going forward was great because Guardians of the Galaxy shouldn't be able to come.
We gotta go. Big monster.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, no.
Just the little things. There was great little moments between Thor and Banner that I really, really loved. Let's see, going forward. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap things up for Thor. Definitely get out and check it out in theaters. Just going forward, a quick dip through the CW weekly shows. Supergirl revealed Reign's full costume. Did you guys get a look at that? She actually looks really, really good. It's like basically an anti-version of the Supergirl suit, but it's basically like the Supergirl symbol and the Dark Mark from Harry Potter in the middle of it, which I really, really like. But what I really like with this season is that you're seeing the villain become the villain, which we hadn't gotten to see yet, which is really cool. They're clearly breaking up Alex and Maggie over them, one wanting wanting kids and the other not wanting them. So that's how they're writing her off of the show. And they introduced another Martian. John Jones's dad is now part of the team and at the DEO. Other than that, not much else going on in the world of Supergirl. She's still moody and emo because she lost her boyfriend. Over on Flash, things are heating up a little bit more.
That show sounds like
Is she writing poetry?
Dude, that's my favorite line in the Hot Tub Time Machine movie is when he gets to him and he's messed up because, dude, are you fucking writing breakup poetry right now? Jenny's eyes are Gypsy's lies, and now those eyes are another guy's. But going over Flash, things were great this week, man. Elongated Man made his debut. Episode. That was one of the strongest episodes I've seen of that show so far. But man, are they giving him his comic book powers. Holy crap. When he grabs Iris and vibrates her through the floor like it was nothing, he does a bunch of speed stuff in this shit. Like, straight up comic book Flash. But dude, that combo at the end, Elongated Man grabbing the helicopter and then him running up his arm.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty goofy.
Oh, come on. Just like, but I just think he's going to be a good addition.
He looks exactly like
Jim Carrey.
Ralph. He just looks like Ralph from the comics. Like, he looks exactly like that.
Does he really?
He's got the same nose and chin. They even did you catch it?
They call him
I don't
Plastic
know if you're
Man.
like a big. No, he's not Plastic Man. It's Elongated.
I know, but they call him Plastic Man.
Yeah, as a joke. But one of the tropes in the comics is that his nose wiggles when he's near crime.
Yeah.
So at the end of the episode, he's like, "I smell a crime," and his nose
I was wondering what that
which
was
was great.
That's great. I love what they're doing with him. I love how they're slowly bringing DeVoe into the fold. It just seems like this season is really, really strong. Like, I'm loving the episodes so far. I'm really hating Iris, though. Like, Joe said something in the episode. He's like, "Yes, boss." And I just was like, "You're not the boss. You're the useless chick. You're the useless chick with a bat." Like,
Seems like the boss to me.
I just hate it. I hate that everyone is so well ranked above her. What do? You're a glorified blogger. It's like, like everyone's just like, okay, everyone's pretty much either a meta or has a badge, except for her, and everyone's just accepted her as the lead. What?
She doesn't even work for Star Labs.
What? Blasphemy. Like, I'm all for, like, #feminism. I love me some Killer Frost, and, like, just what is your purpose? What is your purpose? What do you do? Like, you yell at people. That's all. That's your Steve Jobs.
Yeah, she's Felicity.
Ugh. That's my response to anytime somebody says I love Iris. Let's see here. Yeah, so the comic book powers are great. Elongated Man. Wally leaving. Obviously, going to be bringing him back. But basically, they were saying it's just too difficult to have two speedsters on the show, which I get. And let's see here. Over else, we got Breacher. Danny Trejo was introduced. I thought that was pretty hilarious. The whole him and Cisco vibe. Let me see. Killer Frost. Do you guys like what they're doing with Killer Frost? Like balancing her, is she gonna come back?
I could care less. It just seems like drama to me.
Yeah, there's as much as I know that they're trying to return to the first season in terms of that, I'd like to see. I don't like where they're taking Caitlyn at this point in time.
Really?
I just don't.
Well, I mean, I like what they're doing, but it's just like, I hate the will they, won't they. It's like, either make her Killer Frost or make her Caitlyn. I'm sick of, like, all this back and forth with it. Because I don't like her as Killer Frost. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I can see what they're doing with it. It's because it's really an effects cost thing, too. But
Which you think they would have given the show, give us the money.
Right.
Or at least cut down on the episodes so that you can put more money into episodes that matter and tell a better story.
The effects for Ralph looked awesome. The stretchy powers.
Yeah.
They looked really good. Better than the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, absolutely. But that's not saying a whole lot.
I go with Chuck's Special Olympics win.
Not a whole lot going on in Legends. Basically, they're starting the process of breaking up Firestorm. I don't really like the new team member. I don't like the villain, so not much I want to touch on as far as that goes. Let's see. In some quick hits news here, a few movies have wrapped up this week. Bumblebee, the Transformers spinoff, Aquaman, the Han Solo movie, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. So all those are going to be set to go for next summer. Lion King cast was officially announced. So we got Beyonce as Nala. Woohoo. Chitawali Okafor, whatever the name is. Baron Mordo, that guy, is going to be Scar. John Oliver as Zazu. Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen. All the good guys.
Timon and Pumbaa. Seth Rogen is Timon and Pumbaa.
Billy Eichner.
The James Earl Jones reprising his role as Mufasa.
Did you guys see Stranger Things season 2?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I watched the whole thing in one sitting.
What'd you think?
It was amazing.
Was it?
I loved it.
I was meh.
There was okay. So here is the thing that I didn't like about Stranger Things 2, is that
Was it that one episode of X-Men they snuck in there?
They started out like, who is this girl? 6. That was that you didn't need that. You could have left that as the end. The beginning could have been the end of Stranger Things 2, and I would have been fine. Fine, but otherwise we wouldn't have gotten the ending. And spoilers for those who are watching. It was badass. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jamie.
I'm not saying it's not badass. It's just like I'm picky and I'm old and I'm gonna be old and picky. So
He's that old guy at the bar. Like, back in my day, when they knew how to make a
they used
movie.
to tell a good story. No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought it was great because at the same time they made some character developments, and so 11 seemed to be a little more well-rounded.
Stronger.
What's up with them making her look like Judd Nelson at the end?
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s.
I know,
man.
but come on. My schmems will just fist bumped at the end of the upside
At the
down.
same time,
might
at
still.
the same time, it was like, hey, I don't want to cut my hair.
Yeah.
It's like, please don't make me do that again.
Yeah, that I can understand.
I just thought all the kids brought their A game. Once again, they were all so good. The adults even as well. They were all really good.
Yeah, I was waiting for the moment where it's like, okay, the first one
I
was,
saw a
where's
lot
Will?
of Hellboy in that guy there, though.
Yeah.
As that season went on, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can actually think I'm going to like this guy as
Yeah.
Like,
He looks good.
He does look
As
good, but
Hellboy.
I'm like, I had to buy I hadn't seen enough of him because he was like one of those bit part guys.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Here's the one thing I did love, and that kept me in time. Paul Reiser in that series.
Ugh.
No.
Anytime I think of the dude, I think of that terrible sitcom that he had. What the heck was
Mad
it?
About You?
Mad About You.
That wasn't
Because
that bad.
All I hear was that was the must-see Thursday, like, oh, an all-new Mad About You.
Yeah.
What's Paul Reiser
So
got
I
to do
knew
this
exactly.
week?
I knew exactly when I saw him on the trailer what he was there to do.
Yep.
They even said it in the after show. And if you picked it up when all the stuff that was going wrong, it was directly referencing aliens. So because they were going down, and you'd slowly hear the beep. They mixed in the tracker beep in that episode, and it's like you hear meow. I'm like, oh, they're gonna die. They're all going to die. It's like, yeah, we're going in. It's like, stay frosty. I'm like, oh, they're definitely gonna die.
Another thing I really liked was their little D&D party, their group of kids. They actually got to go on like a legit dungeon crawl and fight monsters, which is something you don't usually get to do when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
There was a death that happened right before we did go on the air today that you guys may not be aware of yet. And unfortunately, we lost my hopes and dreams for the Shazam movie because Zachary Levi has been cast as Shazam. If Zachary Levi, that name doesn't sound too familiar, it's because he's known for TV acting, specifically the TV show Chuck. You'll also know him from the Thor movies as the blonde elf-looking dude in Thor's Friends that was brutally murdered last night.
To go back on Thor real quick. It was like
The entire B cast is gone.
It was like.
They're like, contracts are over, boys.
Yeah.
It's like you see like him for a second. He was like Ray Stevenson.
buddies, yeah.
Ray Stevenson, dead.
Which I'm sad because I loved him.
He was like you see him with the sword. And it's like she comes out, she murders him. And here's another thing about Thor. Okay, main issue with this movie in terms of this. Scourge, the executioner,
So underused.
so underutilized.
Yeah, he was just a jerk.
It's like oh yeah, we fought this, and we fought.
He
together.
reminded me of one of the guards from The Longest Yard.
Yeah, it's like that could.
I was rooting against
You have
him.
a guy. You have Carl Urban.
Who I ran into at Boston Comic Con and was hilarious because the girl that was running the booth with me, I'm sorry, this is a question, made the stupidest statement ever. She goes, "Oh my God, has anyone ever told you look like Carl Urban?" Yeah, to Carl Urban.
Yeah,
And then he just played it off. He's like, "Yeah, I get that a lot." But
and it's
sorry.
like here's a guy who's played Judge Dredd, who has these like really really good acting, and I was like, he is a excellent actor, and to play his character like they did, and to forget how badass the Executioner and Scourge is in the comics, and how much of a thorn he is in Sora's side, is that's where it was like, make him a badass.
I will tap on Valkyrie has the greatest entrance of anyone ever in the MCU. Just her drunken fall off the ship and then get out.
So
He's
it's
mine.
like, he's mine.
Not to linger on Thor, but we didn't even touch on the villain. What did you guys think about it?
Every time she fought someone, all I heard was the Murder Train song from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
That's literally all
She was badass.
incredible. I'm glad
I
they
mean,
didn't
not
kill
much
him.
going on there character-wise, but
She's definitely going to be death for Thanos, though.
She looked cool. She
She's
kicked
hot.
ass.
She was hot,
She was
dude.
pretty
It's like
I don't think Kate Blanchett's that hot, and
No,
she was
but she
smoking.
awakened something deep down
Oh,
inside.
yeah,
It was
dude.
like-
I was like, yo, Helen can get it. Like,
you could go in there and you're like, she's like, when you get to the story, because they've changed the whole mythology around, it's like Hela, and because it's like you're like, really?
wow, and damn that Australian reporter. Like, Marvel must want to fucking kill. Because remember the last episode, I told you that an Australian reporter had leaked a big thing. The big thing that he leaked was that Hela was their sister.
Yeah.
He says it in the interview. He's like, so yeah, it's, with Kate Blanchett
I
being the
saw that,
sister.
and,
Like, and they were like, what? Like, they were what?
Yeah,
Like,
Helmsworth is just like, come on, man, save it for the movie.
he's like,
what
you
the
can't.
hell?
And then Ruffalo was like, because Ruffalo's in so much trouble for streaming the movie as is, so Ruffalo was just like hands up, like, it wasn't me. It was like, get that sniper bullet over there. Like, it wasn't me. Bravo,
like,
blue team. Like,
yeah, no, this is
that's a huge plot point.
It was a plot point, and I didn't like. When the moment you said that, I was like, I'm not paying attention to anything whatsoever. And when that came out, I was like, oh, they changed it and and she just came out and just was absolutely badass.
Right in the beginning too, they're just like,
like-
oh yeah, by the way, she's a sister.
It's like,
Whoa.
it's
I love
like
that soundtrack at the beginning, that Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Amazing.
immigrant song. It was like, okay. It's like, you might be wondering. It's like, how long were you in that cage talking to a skull?
Can we just say
Yeah.
going forward, I really do hope we haven't seen the last of Korg.
Oh no, it's gotta be.
No, it was just I
Like,
just
if
want-
you could get Korg and Daryl from the apartment, that'd be Thor 4. Like, Thor and Daryl and Korg was great, and I love his little line of just going around everybody that they save, like, we're going to jump on that spaceship there. You want to come with us? Like,
Yeah.
it's just so innocent.
You know who I kept thinking about the entire time when that Korg was there? Was Charlotte Copty. I kept thinking, I'm like, it's like, why is it not him and Taika Waititi?
I was thinking Reese Darby the whole time.
Ex-
That's who I thought it was at first.
No, I knew it was Taika Waititi the whole time. I was looking forward to going into it, but because you guys all know my love with him and what
Yeah.
we do in the shadows, which is going to be getting a TV show, by the way. I'm going to be doing an American version of it, so it's probably going to suck.
Probably.
Let's see here. What else do we have?
Mark Strong villain.
Yeah, in the Shazam movie. So what do you guys think about Zachary Levi, Chuck, as Shazam? I think he's way too small.
It's tiny.
I mean, if we see, like,
This guy has to be like Superman big.
He'll pull a Chris Pratt because all of a sudden you'll just start seeing him getting in like killer shape.
He's already doing it.
Killer shape to play that role. I mean, if you're
Yeah, but
looking,
you got to remember that movie starts filming in February.
yeah, but at the same time, I think it's also the fact that they want to have that Billy Batson childish.
Well, here's my thing. I feel like it's wasted because Shazam is one of the few characters where I can say the video game Injustice made me a Shazam fan. I had never really known much about him because of the whole Captain Marvel days. I fell in love with him in the video game and then started tracing back his history and stuff like that, and then fell in love with that
I used
character.
to watch that awful TV show
Shazam!
from the old days.
The serial.
Yeah.
And then Shazam is that genie movie that the world has convinced themselves that
That's
Sinbad made.
that's
It's never
Kazam.
happened. No, Kazam is the one with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, okay.
Shazam is the one that the world thinks was made that was never made. Which is hilarious because then Sinbad just filmed a fake trailer for it for Funny or Die. So the world convinced that's real. Let's see here. So yeah, Mark Strong apparently is going to be the villain. If he gets cast as the villain, that'll save the movie. And that he's got to love something about
Why not
DC
just have
villains to be
Black Adam?
Sinestro. Why not be Black Adam, or why not just, if you're going to have Mark Strong coming back into the fold, just say keep him as Sinestro. Would you honestly scrap everything else from the 2011 Green Lantern movie as much as you want? Don't acknowledge Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan or anything, but tell me you wouldn't be totally fine if
fine
Mark
with
Strong
it.
came back as
fine with
Sinestro.
it.
Yeah.
Like, no problems at all with that.
Yeah.
So, like, just waste it. Why waste him there? And The Rock, why is it not Black Adam? Why have we had The
He
Rock
was like the
cast?
first person in the entire
DCU
DCU
cast.
to be cast.
This is 5+ years ago now that he was cast as Black Adam.
Well, he was,
what
like,
the like?
Him and Jason Momoa have apparently been on the Black Adam for him, but they kept Jason Momoa as Aquaman under wraps for 5 years.
That's crazy to me.
Who cares?
It's like 5 years.
Rest of the quick hits. 24 is going to be rebooted yet again as a female-led law drama. So in other words, it's not 24 anymore.
Yeah, who cares?
Dragon Ball Super is going to feature the first female fusion with Kale and Khalifa fusing into Kefla, the first female Super Saiyan fusion. So I'm actually really pumped for that one. Jordan Peele is in talks to reboot Twilight for CBS, the Twilight Zone.
What?
Yeah, Twilight Zone.
Really?
Yeah, it's not talks, it's finalized. He's doing it. But the question is just if it's going to be for CBS or for their app. Yeah, they're trying to put a bunch of stuff on that app.
Why him, though?
I don't know, but one TV show that's now looking for a new home, and it's already in production, is New Warriors. So New Warriors, the Marvel show, which was originally supposed to air on Freeform, has dicked Freeform over and decided to jump ship and find a new network. Apparently, Freeform has too many limits on what they want to be able to do for story-wise. They want to be able to keep it at like a 13 and under, and they're trying to go more like mid-range. Netflix, I don't think they're going to take Netflix.
No.
I don't think so.
That's where I was.
Squirrel Girl is the leader of your series? Squirrel Girl? Come on.
No, I mean, like,
There's an awesome comedian playing Squirrel Girl, though.
Yeah. Let's see here. Guillermo del Toro has announced he's going to take a year off directing. Spider-Man dropped the honest trailer, so friends of the network Joe Star. That was pretty hilarious, the Spider-Man Homecoming one.
Spider-Man, but did anybody see the fan-made He-She one?
Yes, that was pretty good.
That was
pretty good.
That came out
and then
3 weeks ago.
We got to talk about what's going on. Like I didn't want to talk about the Harvey Weinstein or anything like that. That's not really associated with us. But the Kevin Spacey House of Cards. So production has been suspended on that. They announced it's like you can see the ending coming. So like his announcement gets made, the allegations. Then they're like Netflix is conveniently like, oh, this next season that we're filming is going to be the last season of House of Cards, guys. Yeah, we totally intended that. And then the moment that the allegations look again, they're like, yeah, we're going to shut down everything right now. Just shut it down. And now they're talking about spin-offs. So they were like, all right, guys, shred everything. We'll try to save what we can. Shred it all. You guys are fine. Don't worry about it. Like, literally, you can just see the plans.
Are they going to air the last season?
Yeah. That's up in the air at this point. Because now Kevin Spacey's getting treatment. So they had to shut down production.
Getting treatment for what?
For trying to rape people? Like, where is this sex rehab that these dudes are disappearing to? Like, what are those morning meetings like? You don't want to hump things today. Like, today is a celibate day. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, this, like, you can just dip off to sex rehab. But, what do you guys like? Do you understand like how much he messed it up? Like the allegations came out, and instead of him like sidestepping any of it, he was like, "Oh, I'll just come out of the closet. That'll make the whole thing go away." I'm gay, man. That's why I did it.
It wasn't even that. And where it's like you're like everybody's like.
But I compared that to me murdering Anthony, and then my defense was like, I hated him. Like I didn't like him. Like he was a bad person. He's not here. What's the problem? That we have laws, like that's the problem. Like he really just thought that like coming out as gay was like, yeah, you can hump 14-year-olds as long as you're gay. Like,
yeah, it's just like, oh, this is great.
And then Corey Feldman is in the background, like, I told you so. I said it 20 years ago.
For years.
He really has, but now he's releasing the names. But what do you guys think of this pattern now, where you're starting to see like these dominoes fall? Do you think that any more TV shows and movies are gonna? I mean, there's gonna be plenty of dudes where there's too many trolls. We live in the age where dudes can just go back through every video interview you've ever done and just post stuff.
Starting.
Oh,
the whole Hollywood
you
collapse.
like the hashtag I'm sorry. It's gonna be going like.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it's just.
But
starting.
now in this like politically correct nations, like we're gonna start seeing shows drop. Like stuff is not gonna get released. Things are gonna because people are gonna be too afraid for the backlash of like this social justice warrior movement.
Well, the whole point is this. I'm not gonna say it's like it started out with the Me Too campaign, and so the moment you started seeing that, and then Terry Crews came out.
This started off with The Interview. Like that's if we're gonna talk about like social like pressure, like that movie The Interview really like broke a trend where they were like, yo, we're not gonna show this at all because of an imaginary threat. Now you have these real hippie social justice warrior people that are like will boycott outside a theater because they have nothing better to do. So line up. So it's just like it's a completely different tide turning now, and I really wonder because there's gonna get to a point where people are gonna see that there's this power behind it. Like if you get this outraged about something, a show will get shut down and stuff like that. And I feel like that's a tipping point that you really can't get to where you give the public that much power.
Well, I don't think it's giving the public that much power. I think it is if you're a studio. So just like what we saw with Screen Junkies, because they had a similar issue and they had to come out and have a they had a essentially a video where they said, "Here is where we go from here." Because of Andy Signor, and we see all these other issues where this is bad press. Nobody wants bad press because it affects your bottom dollar. If these, if production, Netflix wants to stay in business because they want to make money. They are in the hole, and they may be looking at Bright, but House of Cards has been one of their.
It's one of their first original
No, it was the first.
It was like one of their original series.
No, it was the original.
Yeah, it's like they want to make sure that works. And before that they pull, they don't want to pull out the rug from under anybody, but they don't want bad press. They don't want to be associated with it because anybody who's caught up in the wake of this, and it's not just public outrage, it's just nobody wants to be caught up in the wake of bad press. Nobody. And so, what I'm going to say...
Lewis and Jamie, if you guys are watching, comment, because I'm getting ready to get to the part.
Hey, he says, hey, coins. Yes, he is.
Yes. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, coins.
So, I mean... We'll see what it does going forward. It'll just be interesting to follow this. Going forward, Jamie and Lewis, you guys are dedicated followers. I didn't even want to put these up for a giveaway. So I have the Star Sapphire and the Phantom Lantern for the Challenge Coin series, the ones we were giving away. So you guys can fight amongst yourselves, whichever one you want. Just comment Phantom or Star Sapphire, and we'll get those out to you guys. Alrighty. So wrapping things up here with DV Doomsday, a couple quick movies that came out that I wanted to just talk about quickly. As you guys can see here, I have Lethal Weapon Season 1. I cannot preach this show enough to you guys. This, and then if you're not watching The Gifted on Fox as well, wow, man. I was hating on The Gifted when I first heard that show coming out. I am glued to that show every week.
I didn't even know it came out.
Oh, it's 6 episodes in. Like, they made Polaris straight up Magneto's daughter. I'm loving Thunderbolt. Eclipse is, like, the X-Men in this are awesome. The Strucker twins are great. They've got the Hounds. They've got Sentinel Services that hunt them down. Like, it is absolutely incredible. Like, I think it's hands down better than Supergirl this, but I think it goes Flash and then The Gifted are, like, my two favorite. You really got to watch it. It's that good. But then I was so sad that this show ended a couple weeks ago, but then I was so happy to get this. I've never pre-ordered a DVD on Amazon before, but I got my Teen Wolf, the complete series, all 100 episodes. Yeah, that's right. I'm coming out and saying I watched Teen Wolf, and I'm not ashamed of it.
You hear that? Chuck's coming out.
Yeah, I'm coming up. I got to get ahead of these allegations that are going to be coming out. Charles Keyworth.
It's okay. I watched Teen Wolf.
It's okay.
I watched Teen Wolf. That makes it all better, doesn't it?
Is that my Kevin Spacey? I'm gay. I watched Teen Wolf. It's all good. I'm really, really excited to be watching this. And then what else did I want to get into real quick? The poll of the week this week, if you guys are checking out the comics, is Batman Dark Knight tie-in The Devastator. This is the Doomsday Batman, if you guys are keeping up with the Metal series, and then also the Justice League tie-in for it. Anthony, did you have a poll this week?
Not digging the Bats Out of Hell story so far.
Yeah, we've only had the Flash one. I didn't read this one yet.
So far, just kind of weak.
Really?
Yeah, it's just run-of-the-mill. Justice League is missing. What's the Justice League gonna do when they're invaded by an evil Justice League?
Commented.
That's about it.
He's got to start watching Gifted, he wrote. Yep. Yeah, man, definitely watch Gifted. If you guys are not watching that yet, do it. So, Derek, you can't jump in. Derek Wells trying to jump in on one of the coins, man. They're for Jamie and Lewis because they are our most dedicated watchers by far. Every week. And then for you guys, I do have a couple quick giveaways here. I have a Hulk, a Green Lantern, a Flash, and some Simpsons stuff. Just comment on what you want, and we will get it out to you at some point in the week. So once again, it's Green Lantern, Hulk, Flash, and Simpsons.
So quickly, just kind of going over the poll of the week for this. You talk about what do you think about this Dark Knight's Metal?
I'm loving it. I love universe-encompassing crossovers. It's my favorite thing in the world to collect. So not only are you getting these one-shots with like the building the team, you're getting the Metal, which is the actual series, but then you're getting these tie-ins which are leaking out into the Flash and Green Lantern and Justice League and stuff like that. So that in a sense is a real like event series, and I feel like those have been gone for the past couple of years. Marvel's tried to do them, but they're just stupid ones because it's not really tying into the main books. They just launch new books for the series. Where this is like what Blackest Night was, where it starts to seep into the other titles. So I really love that. The stories themselves, I'm waiting to see how they're going to bring them all together. Like, I've liked the individual origins for all the different Batmans. Yeah. Now I want to see them come together. I can't wait to see Hal Jordan fight the Dawnbreaker. Like, that to me is going to be so cool.
What is your favorite origin story thus far?
It's Dawnbreaker, hands down.
Death.
And yes, Lewis, you see Harley Quinn, so you can grab that. And Lewis, don't forget you're getting the pink coin. I don't know. I don't really like the drowned one so far. But that's the weakest of the series.
I really liked it.
That
Really?
one, that was the one where it was like this. That's the one I feel that was the most original out of the story, because essentially it's saying it's like it's Bryce Wayne and her boyfriend Steve Kyle, and you're like, okay, I see what they're doing, and it's like, oh, I fought Atlanteans before, and she develops all these things, and she's just as capable as the other Batmans, except. She's
got fucking crazy powers.
It's just like she just is like, yeah, I'm just gonna take it to the nth degree.
And then check this out.
I didn't like the Murder Machine issue very much, although it's set up plot wise more than the other tie-ins did, because it basically essentially takes Cyborg off the table. But just as a character himself, I wasn't really like into the Murder Machine character.
Well, the story, like I think the weakest ones are Murder Machine for me. Merciless, I think the story is interesting.
Like the Merciless.
I like the story.
His costume.
I like the costume, but at the same time, it's like the story. But I didn't like the book in terms of this, because it didn't really go into too much depth. It's like, oh, okay, what happened here? And so the Devastator one made complete and total sense. Red Death made sense. The Drowned made sense.
You know what makes sense is how awesome my Justice League Flash statue is that I've just been flashing off to the camera there.
So we're gonna test that theory in a couple of weeks. How awesome will you be still holding it up in a couple of weeks?
And not just that, I had to go get it. We announced a couple weeks ago that Superman's black suit had been confirmed by a hat. This is that hat. I went and got it, so it's reminiscent of the suit. We've got the silver S there as well. The Justice League logo on the back, my last name embroidered in it. I am proudly repping. We are 2 weeks from the date, and I want to announce to you guys that the day Justice League releases, November 17th, that show will be the most spoilerific show I've ever done. If you haven't seen Justice League, do not watch Friday the 17th, because we're going to be talking about anybody that's even remotely known me, like anybody, a hitchhiker I've given a ride to, I'm tracking him down on Facebook and dragging him to this movie. Anybody with any association to me is coming to this movie. I'm so excited.
So because we hope it's positive. But I feel like we're going to be like,
I feel like
will you put up a funeral pyre?
I feel like even I can already see it now that even if it sucks and like it beats me up and I walk out that black eye, I'll be that abused wife, be like, he's a really good guy. This just wasn't a good day for him. Like, he's really, 2 directors. Like, I'll just find ways to break it down.
It's like I've got to break this down. I've got to make it work, because in 2 weeks.
Oh, rational. It's just like that one chick you shouldn't be with, but you're like, but I can. But like, have you seen her in red? Like,
have you seen her in red? It's like Wonder Woman gives me hope, but that's about it.
I thought you were actually gonna go somewhere positive. I don't know, man. The trailers are looking fun, and all I need is a Green Lantern, and that movie's a success. Because you guys can all hate on everything else, but then I'll be like, but Green Lantern.
Yeah, and see, that's the whole point. It's like he hits me, but he gives me hope at the same time. And so it's like Warner Brothers is going to smack you around. Not saying this is going to happen. It's like if Warner Brothers smacks you around and basically craps a turd on this, on this wonderful Flash figure, what are you going to do?
I'm repping. If all else fails, I blame it on 2 directors. I'll blame it. If we had stuck with Zack Snyder's vision. But yeah, so I mean, I have high hopes for it, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's see here. Any quick hit notes on the way out? Rob Zombie's next project is going to be Devil's Rejects 2. Halloween, the new one, started filming with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm so mad that they're ignoring all the other Halloweens except the original. That's my favorite horror movie franchise. It's like the only one I tolerate, and I can't believe that they're ignoring those movies, because H2O, in my opinion, is the best horror movie ever made.
What?
Are you kidding me?
The best horror movie ever made?
In my opinion, I don't watch horror movies. So of the 6 horror movies that I've seen, I don't watch horror because they're so predictable. White chick's going to fall. Naked people are going to be, oh, what? Is there anybody here? What? Okay, I'm just going to get naked and take a shower. All vulnerable. Like, no, those movies are so stupid. I can't stand them. But I love the Michael Myers. But, dude, H2O has the best moment ever, dude, where, like, her son's about to get murdered and he's coming at him, and she rips him in the door and slams the door right as Michael gets there, and they have that moment where they're looking at each other through the porthole, and it's the first time they've seen each other in 20 years. Oh, come on, man. That movie was...
The favorite part of the movie is that at the end where she's like, no. It's like, she's like...
He said credits.
Credits. Well, yes, yeah. But the favorite part of that movie is like Jamie Lee Curtis is like going to end this definitively. Axe. That's all. We're gonna.
All right.
Yeah, and then I love it that when they tried to the rewrite out of that was that it wasn't him, that Michael suddenly got smart and stuffed an EMT in the mask.
Yeah.
Like that was so stupid.
Okay, quick Thor note is like, brother, you've become so predictable.
Oh, finally, Thor didn't fall for that. I would, dude. If Thor fell for that a fifth time, I would have walked out of the theater. I would just been like, crap. Yeah.
It's like this. It's like, oh, it's like, oh, brother, you've become so predictable. And he's like, and he's like, what?
Love that. I was so happy. He finally didn't fall for that. But I gotta tell you, man, Valkyrie, I really hope we see more of her going forward. We know she's in Infinity War.
Yeah,
so.
I know she's. One more thing in terms of this. When Hulk shows up, Loki's like, I've got to get off this planet right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
I also like that you got to see Hulk's big green ass.
Yeah, he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, oh, you're my favorite. I don't like that. He's just, oh.
To be honest, I prefer you, Hulk. You're just saying that.
You're good.
And I love that Hulk called Valkyrie Angry Lady.
Angry lady.
But so yeah, I think that's gonna wrap things up for this week. So definitely get out there and check out any of the Dark Knight Metal series. Check out Lethal Weapon or Teen Wolf at your local DVD Emporium. DVD Emporium. Wow, did I just date myself there? Like it's your local retail store wherever VHS is sold.
Chuck's been watching Teen Wolf.
Really, I'm gonna go home and let my period sync up to my girlfriend's and watch some Teen Wolf.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, she's watching it wasn't bad enough watching Teen Mom. Now she watches the British Teen Mum. Yeah, so I just want to hang myself when I get home tonight.
Sounds pretty
terrible. So yeah, make sure you join us next week where we'll be talking about all the greatest geek news, and we'll have a special guest as well. So for this episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast, we want to thank Louis Lozano and Jamie Reyes, the number 1 and number 2 fans ever this podcast could ask for. We love having you guys here every week. The rest of you, check us out on the Nerd Herder Facebook page. And for this week's episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast, I've been Chuck Hewatts.
I'm Raging Fire.
And I'm Little Baby Fire.
And we are out there. You guys have a week. Whop. Jamie and Lewis, message me your address. All right. Love having you as fans because you guys are the best.